everybody, Dancer Yuki here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please hit that red subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon to stay up to date. In today's video will not be a Dead by Daylight gameplay. It will be a Dead by Daylight lore. Pretty much I'll go into some background story of only one character for this video, aka Evan MacMillian, the Trapper himself. One of the very first killers in this game of 2016. So I'll be going into some lore depth for you guys, if you guys haven't already. If you guys play the game and haven't gone to stories of anybody, this is the video to watch. If you just haven't gone deep enough, I will do that part for you guys, alright? I'm going to get to the lore for you guys. And before that, you guys already know, random facts of the day. Garlic is known to attract leeches. I didn't even know they could smell in the first place. But anyways, I have the Trapper here on screen for you guys. He looks pretty terrifying. But anyways, scratch that. We're gonna get to some lore explaining, or lore telling. Let's get to it, guys. There is a vast of a monster, of a man with a hideous grin, torn across the mask that keeps stalking my every move. Similar to a hunter, he tracks us, priming devastating traps amongst the greenery. Extreme vigilance and a light step is essential in avoiding the blood-curdling clench of a bear trap, or the clutch is what I've taken to the calling the miserable smiling killer. I have but many times managed to get caught in one of these traps. I have nothing but a fear for the feeling of blunt trap spikes grinding against my bones, for the heavy and deliberate footsteps which always inevitably reveal a plastered, sadistic grin. With the traps and the trapper, it has so far been a constant battle between looking up and looking down. Evan MacMillian idolized his father. It wasn't just that he was heir to a great fortune. It was the way he ran the estate. Raised under his firm hand, Evan had taken to running the workforce with an iron hand. Production was always high, and the MacMillian estate prospered under father and son. As Archie MacMillian's mental health slowly degenerated, Evan protected him from the herd who wanted a piece of the fortune. No matter what his father asked of him, Evan would do. When Archie MacMillian finally snapped, Evan became his enforcer in what would become known as the worst mass murder in modern history. They never proved that Evan led over 100 men to those dark tunnels before detonating the explosive and sealing them to their fate. The tale of the MacMillian estate is a tale of wealth and power gone very wrong. How many victims fell to the hands of father and his son unknown? No record has ever made of what became of Evan MacMillian. His father is another unsolved puzzle, found trapped in the locked basement of his own warehouse, starved and abandoned. Discover new memories of Evan, which shed some light on his descent. The question I'm asking myself is, did the entity begin to corrupt him before he was snatched for the trials, or was all that anger of blood as a result of his harsh upbringing? Either way, I would not expect him to comply with another authority figure, even if that figure was an old one. Evan is 14 years old, and he knows something his father doesn't. The thought thrills him, amazes him, scares him. There is something his father doesn't know. Something the owner of one of the most powerful minds in all Seattle doesn't know. His father manages his workers with an iron fist. No, not an iron fist, brass knuckles. He calls them maggots. Groveling maggots. He's about to discover he's wrong. They're more than maggots. Much more. They're men. And men working together can bring change. One of these men is inspiring others to take their lives back. If they can stand together, maybe, just maybe, they can bring in the union. With the union, they have the rights, more than rights, they have dignity, freedom, time. Time to spend with their friends, time to spend with their family, time to be human. Evan knows something his father doesn't know, and he feels empowered. Evan's father thrusts him to the ground, calling him weak, tells him he's got to stop being so nice to the maggots. Stop talking to them, stop helping them, keep them in line, break them, let them know who's boss. If you give them an inch, they'll take a yard. They're just using you. Evan knows better than to say anything. His father punched and broke his jaw last year when he showed weakness. This year he might not sip dinner through a straw. This year he holds back, bites his tongue. He wants to tell his father about the union, but doesn't. He feels ashamed, torn between his loyalty for his father and for his friends. Bob, Tom, Jim, they deserve more. Evan enjoys creating something for nothing. He's not an artist, but he enjoys sketching, and he hides his sketches from his father. His father forbids sketching. Sketching is for weaklings, vagabonds, gypsies. He wants Evan to do worthy things. He drags Evan to his most powerful mind, teaches him how to manage maggots. He's hands-on, very hands-on, abusive, violent, brutal. The key is to break them. Break their will, break their spirit. Once broken, a human is a tool that can be wielded to do anything. Broken is what he did to Evan's mother, is what he's doing to him. But Evan still sketches. Sketching is a defiance. Evan watches his father yell one of his workers. He's sick. He wants to leave, but he's not allowed. He leaves, he loses his job. Evan feels for the man, wishes he could do something for him. He wants to tell him things are going to change. The union is coming. The union is coming, and with a good wage and fair working hours. But the man's lungs are black and his stomach is rot. Too much stress, too much acid. Not enough sleep, he collapses. His father doesn't care. Kicks him in the gut, tells Evan to drag him out of mine. Evan drags him out. For a moment he feels disgusted at the man's weakness and wants to put this maggot out of his misery. He's becoming his father, and he's not sure if this is a bad thing. Evan's father forces him to set a bear trap in the dark forest. His father obsessed with hunting bears. Always has been. Always will be. He tells him a story. Always the same story. He doesn't want to hear it, but he will. His father was hunting with his brother when they ran into a grizzly bear. The bear tore his uncle's arm off and bit into his head. Evan's father jumped on the grizzly's back, stabbed the bear endlessly, killed the bear, ripped open his stomach to retrieve his brother's head, carried his brother's mutilated body 10 miles to their family estate. This time, it's 10 miles. Last time was 5, his brother's grins. The story is changing with everything. With every telling, sometimes Evan wonders if there even was a bear. Evan inspired in a way he's never been before. Variously, he sketches his father in a bear suit, killing his uncle. He never met his uncle, but he's seen pictures. His uncle was a philanthropist, a bleeding heart, disloyal. He would have run the business into the ground with proper wages and all that socialist crap. That's why he had to go. Evan doesn't have proof, but he knows. Deep down, he knows his father murdered his uncle. Tied him up, left him for a bear. There was no knife, no fight, no honor. Just a terrible death for a disloyal worm. Evan suspects all this, and yet he doesn't feel disgusted or ashamed. He feels something else. Something he's trying not to feel. Something he won't admit to himself. Evan looms over his father's bed and watches him sleep. He hates and loves him at the same time. Sometimes he wonders what his life would be like without him. He owes him so much, and yet he's miserable and alone. He raises a massive gray stone and holds it there for a long minute that feels like forever. He could be free, truly free, but he can't. Not like this. He could free himself in other ways. Accidents happen. Hunting accidents, mining accidents. He could lure him into the bowels of the mine and initiate a stick of dynamite. No way he survived. But despite it all, Evan can't do it. His love is bigger than his hate. He owes him too much. Evan sketches his father in a bear suit drowning his mother. He never believed his father's story. Something didn't feel right. His eyes, his grin, his lack of empathy. She was pulled into a current and never seen again. His mother? She was beautiful. Blonde hair, blue eyes, fun, full of compassion. His opposite? She didn't just go out to swim one morning and never come back. She was getting in his way, and no one gets in his way, not even family. Especially not family. Obedience or death. Evan's tired of obedience. Yes, he's loyal to his father, but he's also loyal to his friends. They talk to him, encourage him, think he's a great artist. He has friends. He's never really had a friend. His father wouldn't allow it. Waste of time? They're using you. Yes, he's loyal to his father, but he's also loyal to his friends. They deserve better. Evan's father stares at him across the dinner table. He knows maybe he doesn't know, but he senses something amiss. He has that look in his eyes, that look that tells Evan he's in for it. He chews on a fatty piece of rabbit and hopes his father doesn't say anything. He should have known better than keep something from him. His father knows. He always knows. Last year, Evan lost his cool on a man who said something about his mother. He almost beat the man to death with a 2x4 while his father watched and laughed. The authorities pulled Evan away. He smiled at Evan and knew what he wouldn't admit to himself. He enjoyed being on that man. Not because of the insult, not because he felt threatened, but because he felt powerful. His father smiled. Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, eh? Evan finds sketches, torn to bits. He puts the pieces together. All of them accounted for except one. He doesn't have the picture of his drowning mother. His father enters his room. Despair and dread over him. He waits for a blow that never comes. Instead, his father tells him he has instinct, and instinct is everything. And instinct is everything. He tells him he inherited his instinct from his side of the family. The same instinct that told him Evan was keeping something from him. Don't pretend. I know. A few of you maggot friends sold you out for a few dollars. Evan starts by doesn't say anything. Can't say anything. The words are caught in his throat. He apologizes. His father says nothing. Walks away. Evan follows him to his bedroom where he sees the picture of his dying mother. Framed above the bed, his father tells Evan he will learn a lesson tomorrow. One he hopes he understands. Evan stares at his father and feels hate. Hate for the maggots who betrayed him and for his father. Respect? No, not respect. Admiration. Wow. What a lore to tell. I didn't know Evan MacMillian, the trapper, had so much lore into it. Man, what a way. You guys think he killed his father down in the basement, left him to die, leave him to starve? I don't know. That's kind of like, got me thinking, like, maybe if he loved his father that much, did he really kill him? I don't think so. He had a chance to kill his father. He had that big gray stone in his hand. He lifted up high as the ceiling he could hold it. But he chose not to kill him. He could have been free. He's in a love-hate relationship with himself and his father. So that explains it. He loves his father. I think, maybe, my personal opinion, he probably wanted to protect his father from what he did to all those miners in the mine. He probably lit up a dynamite, trapped them all in there, killed them all in there. He probably let his father starve and die in the basement. That's probably when the entity started taking over him. Maybe the entity called him when he was in that moment after he killed all those miners. The entity called him somehow, took over him, and then somehow he left somehow, and his father was left starving and found dead in the basement. That's my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. You guys have an opinion about it? Drop it down in the comments below, please. Oh man, what a lore. What a lore. But I hope you guys enjoy the lore. It's a different perspective, different take of what videos I usually do. But if you guys made this far and you guys haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. And if you guys have a certain lore, or I mean character lore that you guys want me to do or go more in detail and depth for, please let me know in the comments below, please. It's my first time doing it. I didn't do so bad, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and nothing but the best for you guys. Good health, good fortune to everyone. Stay safe, everyone. I'll see you guys next time in the next one, alright?